What's up, people, and welcome to a video I was hoping I wouldn't have to make, but here we are. So, in my last video, we discussed where is the money coming from that is supposed to go to Ukraine and Israel and everywhere else. The answer is we just print more, and then we send it over there, right? So, you may or may not know that the Senate, during the Super Bowl, passed a $95 billion bill to send money to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. And a couple other places, but we'll get into that. And it's it's amazing that people go, and I see where it comes from. There's this desire to want to help people, especially from progressives and Democrats, and I see it. I understand it. You know, you don't want people to suffer. You want the war to end. You want to support the underdog in the fight, as it were, with Ukraine. Not so much Israel, but we'll get into that too. And the Democrats are very, very good at appealing to emotion and fear, while Republicans are better at reacting to things. So, outrage farming, as it were. And the fact of the matter is, for instance, Schumer said something along the lines of, if we don't help Ukraine and pass this bill and send them these billions of dollars, then at some point we're probably going to have to send troops over there, you know, kind of implying a draft and this, that, and the other, which is completely unnecessary. It's just to make you, it's to plant that seed in your mind of, well, shit, if we don't do this, then, you know, we're going to be in a war ourselves. And Biden said the same thing either today or yesterday, where he made a remark that if we don't pass this bill and we don't send them this money, then Putin's going to take over Ukraine, and then he's going to take over all of Europe, and then we're going to be at war. So, two Democrats, same thing, threats of war. Now, this bill sends $60 billion to the Ukraine. It's $60 billion that we don't have. Now, where's that money going to come from? It's going to come from you. It's going to come from me. It's going to come from our taxes. We already have a serious problem with inflation. And then to top it all off, what do? They just print more and more and more money that we don't have. The debt keeps going up. We keep printing more and more and more. Inflation keeps going up. And we're in this vicious cycle of, no, we have to send money. We have to give money. We have to spend money. No, we don't. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to get involved everywhere. We don't have to be involved with Israel and Gaza. We don't have to be involved with Ukraine and Russia. We don't have to be involved with China and Taiwan, although Taiwan is kind of important. But, you know, politicians are good at making you think we have to do this. We have to. And $60 billion? Do you have $60 billion? I don't. Shit, I barely have enough to scrape by. But here we are. Now, Ukraine got the bulk of that money. That was $60 billion going to Ukraine. Now, they also gave, and this is, it's ironic that there is $14.1 billion that's going to go to Israel, right? $14.1 billion. But they're also going to allocate $9.2 billion of that money to helping Gaza. So we're going to give money to Ukraine, and here's the funny thing, because these two things tie in. We give this money to Ukraine and Israel. We're funding Israel so Israel can work on the Iron Beam with $1.2 billion, which is a laser weapons anti-missile system. So we're giving them money for that, while at the same time trying to assist the people of Gaza that have been displaced by Israel and the IDF and a pretty serious bombing campaign, right? But we're just throwing money at it, right? Same thing as like we're doing in Ukraine. We're throwing money, just throwing it out there, right? We just keep throwing money. Now, the funny thing about all of this, right, is that at the end of the day, only $400 million is going to go towards. Now, keep in mind, this is a $95 billion bill. $400 million of this is going to go to stuff that will help us in the U.S., which was helping nonprofits and places of worship be more secure, to prevent hate crimes, whatever your definition of that is. And then there's, sanctions on cartels, producers of fentanyl. 400 million with an M out of billions with a B. That's what we get. We don't get. Now, the whole thing started with, we need to protect our borders, we need to secure the border, we need to do this, we need to do that. Oh, well, we need to tack on money for Ukraine, and whoa, we need to tack on money for Israel. And they just scrapped the whole border deal, which is why I believe Johnson is saying he's going to kill it in the House. Now, this is targeted to Republicans. And if you're a Republican and you're watching me, I want you to remember this, because this is important. And this is why I believe we should have term limits. So, the passing of this bill, which is insane, the vote was 70 to 29. 22 Republicans voted in favor of passing this bill. 22 Republicans. And we're going to go through this here, right? Because it's kind of crazy. And it's also why I am in favor of term limits. Mitch McConnell voted for it. He's 81 years old. John Thune voted for it. He's 63. John Boozman, he's 73. Shelley Moore Capito, 70. Bill Cassidy, he's 66. Susan Collins, 71 years old. John Cornyn, 72 years old. Kevin Kramer, 63 years old. Mike Crapo, 72 years old. Joni Ernst, 53 years old. Chuck Grassley, 90 years old. John Hoeven, or Heaven, however you want to say his last name, is 66. John Kennedy is 72. Jerry Moran is 69. Lisa Murkowski is 66 years old. Jim Risch, or Reich, is 80 years old. Mitt Romney is 76. We already fucking knew that old fucker was still there. Mike Rounds is 69. Dan Sullivan is 59. Tom Tillis is 63. Roger Wicker is 72. And Todd Young is 51. The youngest Republican out of those 22 is 51 years old. 51. The oldest Republican out of that list is fucking 90 years old. Grassley is 90 years old. Now, between those 22 Republicans, that is a combined age of 1,517 years on this planet. The average age between those 22 Republicans is 69 years old. Do you think that they give a single flying fuck what happens to your money? What they do with your money? What they do with our money? Fuck no. They're old as fucking dirt. Same thing with the Democrats. All these people have been sitting in the Senate for years, longer than I've been fucking alive, and I'm fixing to be 39. They don't care. Why? Because by the time the damage catches up to us, by the time the damage catches up to them, they're already going to be fucking dead. They're already rich. The fuck do they care? They don't. Why would they? Why should they? They're all, again, average age, 69 years old. Between all 22 of them. Let that sink in. Hell, again, Grassley is 90 years old, and this dude is still sitting in the Senate. Feinstein, how old was Feinstein when she died? These people will not give up their seats. They will not give up their own money. They will not give up their power. They will not give it up. Which is why it is important to vote. And that is one thing that progressives and Democrats do very fucking well. They are aggressive as shit on trying to turn people over to their side to get you to vote for their policies and their candidates. They are very good at it. Republicans fucking suck when it comes to that. Hell, look at Destiny. I think Destiny got together with Vosh and Brianna Wu and all these other people, and they went canvassing, and they know how to mobilize. And you got to give it to them. You wonder why people follow them, listen to them? They know how to mobilize. They know how to talk to people. They know how to get out there. I think the canvassing event that Destiny did was like 40,000 doors that they knocked on or some shit like that. Who's doing that on the right? Can you tell me? The answer is nobody. You got all these loudmouths that claim to be on the right, that want to stick their nose in politics, that want to say, oh, what they're doing is bad and these people are just stupid. Well, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything about it. Same thing with people that get pissed off when shit like this happens and money goes flying out the window because a bunch of old fucks decided, hey, this is a good idea. Who put them there? People are voting for these people. You can't complain when you're voting for the same old bastards over and over and over and over again. You just can't. So, that is why I say it's important to vote. It is important if you like the policies, if you like the candidates, if you like what they are saying, then vote for them and fuck all what everybody else has to say. You'd vote for you. That is your vote. I don't care if you're a Democrat and you want to vote for a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican and you want to vote for a Republican. Those are your ideals. Those are your thoughts on how the country should be ran. Therefore, you should vote in that way. But me, when I see stuff like this, it just boggles my mind how it can just be so blatant. You know, they don't even try to hide it anymore. And people still vote for them. You know, Schumer and Biden saying that if this bill doesn't pass and there's a threat of war, I think right after this bill passed, now all of a sudden there's a national security threat of Russian space nukes or some shit that came out of fucking nowhere that nobody wants to talk about. That's what they do. And at the end of the day, and I know I've got time pulled up here on the screen, and I had it up there earlier, because I'll read every single source, no matter how skewed it is, even though I know it's complete and total bullshit. At the end of the day, people need to wake up and do what's right for themselves as well as the country. Because we do live here. And you can hate the US all you fucking want to. The fact of the matter is you live here, and unless you want to see it run into the ground, you gotta start changing things. You gotta start voting for people that are going to change things. You got people saying, oh, I'm going to vote for Biden again because vote blue no matter who. That's fucking stupid. Just like the people that are like, I'm going to vote for Trump no matter what. He could fucking murder somebody and I'm going to vote for Trump. Don't. Just don't. At that point, you know, I've said before, I don't like extremists on either side, and I don't, because I'm one of those people that will sit there and look at policy. I'll be like, what is this person saying that I like? If one person is saying a hell of a lot more stuff that I like than the other, then that's who I'm going to vote for. And I think we would all be better off if more people had that mindset instead of playing politics like it's a team sport, which is exactly what they do. And it's not. Politics, whether you love it or hate it, are a reality. And right now, reality ain't looking that good. And, you know, another 4 years of whatever, we'll see where we're at. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully I made some sense. And until next time, we need term limits.